Welcome back, everyone. As you can see right here, we have the best RPG of all times in action. Once we get to this, you can see this actually has my save games from... Oh, this would have probably been from the late 90s. It was the last time that I played it. My save games still exist in here. But one thing we want to kind of do is see how we should store a game. Like if you have it on a shelf or anything like that, what's the best thing to do to it? You'll see what I mean as we move on with this. Now, I don't have any of the examples to show myself of this issue, but we have seen it multiple times. We saw it with Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, and also with Secret of Evermore. This specific issue that Atari Tard is talking about right here. So in this you can kind of see that a battery exploded in there. It's rare for these batteries to explode, but we've seen it twice so far in probably about the past year. We've seen it on both those games. So it is something that can happen. Both of those games, the corrosion and everything from the battery actually damaged some of the chips, so the game wasn't even playable anymore. So it kind of gave us a reality check of something that we decided that we'd do on any games that we really care about, any of our more valuable games. So we will get into that right now. So with our really awesome game here, we want to start by removing these two screws here. Funny thing is, I've had this game for so long, I don't think I've ever actually popped it apart. So we will see together what it looks like inside. And there's the board for it. The battery's still intact, so that's good. Now, one of the issues with this is you will lose your save data. There are ways you can prevent that, but they're not always that safe of ways. The best bet, I'd say, get one of the devices that you can do the backup of the save data on there. I haven't really looked into the topic for Super Nintendo games, but I know for Nintendo 64, there's the Ben Joey 64. For Game Boy Advance, it's like the funny playing Burn Master. You can use that for backing up save data. So there are different things you can do for the Super Nintendo for that. But it's about time for me to start playing this game over from the start again, so I may as well just lose the save data on there. So then the solution to this issue, it's just like with Christmas decorations or other things like that. When you are storing the item, store it without the battery. You can get these quick release save battery attachments that you can hook up onto the board. And that's what we're going to do with this one. They come in two different sizes. They're about $1 each. I will put a link in the description for where to get these, but I got these from Handheld Legend. And they each hold the CR2032. So based on the size of this from the back, it looks like we will be using the black one for this. So what we'll want to do to get this prepared is bend these two metal parts down, since it has to go through the board. So we will grab this, gently bend it. Okay, and some other pliers in here to kind of bend this one up. Push it through from the other side to start. Okay, and there we go. So we have both of those tabs bent up. If this part falls out, that's fine. You can just pop it right back in. I have to say it probably will fall out as you are bending it. So then we'll get everything, safety glasses, the exhaust fan going, and get our soldering equipment. I'll move this out of the way for now. So then we'll add a little bit of flux to the back here. Grab our solder wick, and then start to soak up some solder. And say bye to my childhood save games. But this will be worth it. It would definitely be more of a sad thing if the battery busted in there and I lost the game in general. So I can deal with just losing some save games. Okay, I'm going to get these posts bent up a little bit. Okay, there's a little more solder on this side that we need to get out. Okay, then I'll go ahead and get the battery on the other side. Okay, it's being a little stubborn on this. Oh, no. Stubborn at all on that side. Okay. And there goes the save data. So then what we'll do is clean both sides of the board with a Q-tip and isopropyl alcohol. Just to get any residue up out of there. Get this side. Shouldn't be that bad on this side. And then this is the side that had the flux and stuff on it. Definitely want to get all that junk up off there. So that is looking pretty good now. As you can see on here, this hole is larger than this one. It's a little tougher to see with this, but this side's smaller and this side's larger, so those are the sides we will get put in place. So we'll flip the board over, get those fed down through those. Let's see it from that angle. We have the head sticking through on each of those. Just make sure it's all pushed up against there all the way. And then we will go ahead and get all of our soldering stuff running again and get that soldered in place. So we will start with the smaller leg first. Okay, that one has decent chunk of solder. And then the larger leg. That all fed on there. Okay, that is looking pretty good. So then with those soldered in place, we'll flip this back over. And then we have our nice little battery holder. And then if you do compare it with this, the large side over here, the small side over here, the large side was the positive and the short side was the negative. So when a new battery goes in, this part right here that feeds the large side is the positive, and then the part on the bottom is the negative. So I got some brand new Energizer CR2032s. So I'm gonna feed that on in here. And there we go. So when this game needs to be stored, then it's just a quick disconnect here. You just pop that part back, and then the battery lifts out, and then you can store the game and not have any worries about a battery exploding in there. And then you can just plop the battery back in. You will have to start your save data over unless you have a device where you can capture the save data. Then we're going to go ahead and put this all back together and make sure everything works. And I will be excited to get to play this game from scratch again. Yeah, it's been a while since I played this one. Earthbound, usually like once a year I start that game over. So doing this method, have the battery in for as long as you are playing it. And then once you finish it, pop the battery out when you shelf the game for a bit. Now I did look it up really fast. These are actually $2 each for each of these types. But if you order in bulk, it brings them down to about $1 each if you order at least 50. I'm all about that bulk pricing. So we have this all back together now. So here we go. Now one thing also note about this, since there is soldering involved in it, if you don't know how to solder or are uncomfortable with it, especially depending on like if the game is valuable that you're having to deal with, a lot of the different retro shops will have someone that knows how to solder, so they might be able to help you out with that. Okay, so since there were no saved games, it went straight into the game. 1,000 years have passed. Iron, gunpowder, and steam engines have been rediscovered and high technology reigns. I won't really bore everyone with reading through all this stuff, so I'll just kind of skip ahead a little bit, because you have to get to a certain point to be able to save for the first time anyways. If you are interested in seeing things like playthroughs of this game or any of the other games, then let me know in the comments. Also, one thing, if you have not played this game, the character with the green hair, Terra, there's a Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set that's come out, and the Final Fantasy VI, she's in the Commander deck. I'm not too familiar with Magic, I just know I'm going to collect the Final Fantasy VI cards from it. Here we go, the moment of truth, the first save point. Oh, I should have said no about hearing about info about save points. And save the game. Okay, we have it saved, so turn the game off. Going to pop it out of the console for a moment. It has been a moment. Put that back in, turn it on, and we have our save game. So yeah, I do apologize for not having any of the pictures of the 2 games that we've experienced that have been damaged beyond repair. But if I come across any more, then I'll try to get images out there just to show what can happen with it. Because these types of batteries are supposed to be leak-proof. Energizer even says 100% leak-proof based on standard use. So I'm hoping that would be the case, but you never know. It's better to be safe than sorry, especially when some of these games could be worth thousands of dollars. Or a game like this one could have just a whole bunch of value to the individual, so you just don't want to see it damaged. So I hope this was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments if you have any experience with some of the different things for capturing save files from SNES cartridges. Because NES and SNES, I've not dealt with that, but N64 and Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, I've dealt with the different tools for doing those. So if you have any questions or any other suggestions, then let me know in the comments. If this was helpful or you enjoyed this, then please subscribe, leave a thumbs up. I want to thank you for watching. Have a nice day.